On Tuesday, former President Donald Trump announced his intention to return by running for a third time. In what is being described as a low-energy speech, very low energy, sad, Trump, of course, rehashed all the stuff that he said before, and at least according to reporters that were there, people got a little bored. In fact, here's a report from ABC News reporter Jonathan Karl. Look.
Low energy. I actually saw people trying to leave, and people leaving early even before he was done. He's still speaking now, and then they, I think, perhaps a little concerned that the hall would empty out too much. They actually started preventing people from leaving, so now they're no longer allowing people to leave.
Help is on the way. Joe Biden has abolished America's borders. We are going to restore and secure America's borders just like we had them before. Best ever. We built the wall, and now we will add to it. Now we built the wall. We don't.
Okay. For one, I just gotta say this.
Please clap.
Low energy, sad baby. Again, somewhere out there, Jeb Bush is laughing his ass off. You gotta love it.
Give me a break.
Okay. But there's more. Fun times. Olivia Rubin, reported with ABC News, posted a video on Twitter of the crowd at Mar-a-Lago. She commented that the crowd formed by the exit of the ballroom and that people were trying to leave before Donald Trump had finished his speech. And she added that security will not let them. So security says, oh, you can't leave. Literal captive audience. If, of course, they are to be believed. Brennan Murphy, producer of The Recount, commented that was the most bored Trump crowd he's ever seen. Kumar Rao, a lecturer at the Columbia University Law School, questioned if Trump was sick or was just weathered now. He added that his voice, demeanor, and cadence are all low energy as hell. Again, maybe, I don't know what's going on. Low energy, sad, baby, not having fun. Sarah Matthews, former White House deputy press secretary, said this in a tweet. This is one of the most low-energy, uninspiring speeches I've ever heard from Trump. Even the crowd seems bored. Not exactly what you want announcing a presidential run. Former White House press secretary Stephanie Grisham and two other members of Trump's communication team, Sarah Matthews and Alyssa Farah-Griffin, also tweeted. Here's what Grisham said. I think even Trump is bored with this speech. Painful to watch. Painful.
Please clap.
Alyssa Farah-Griffin says, you try being high energy when you're running for president, primarily to try to avoid indictment. Fair. Caleb Hull says, I remember Trump's campaign from 2016 like yesterday. He looks exhausted in comparison. Well, perhaps he might need a little pick-me-up. A little bit of Adderall, something. Oh, right, there's a shortage. And I'm actually personally impacted by that. But, okay. Hey, at least that means I can joke about it.
I apologize for nothing. I concede nothing.
I'm just saying. Catherine Watson says, we've watched Trump with more visible energy and excitement in many of his rallies than right now in Mar-a-Lago. Benji Sarlin says 2016 would call 2022 Trump low energy. Fun. Cameron Joseph says, I've watched a lot of Trump speeches over the years. This is pretty low energy. Also, it sounds a lot like every other recent Trump speech. No new material for the big announcement. Dan Pfeiffer said, this tweet is Trump's message delivered with Jeb Bush's energy and Ted Cruz's charisma. Oh, come on now.
Ted Cruz sucks.
God bless you.
Trump called your wife ugly and you loved it.
What happened to that guy? What happened to that Trump? He wasn't there. Wasn't there last night. Gone disappeared. No idea. No idea where he's at. Ian Koski said, Trump seems weak. Just weak. Ooh. You know, that's basically another way to call him a
Beta male.
Noah Cohen said Trump needs the SBF amphetamine patch. Stephen Weber said even Donald Trump sounds tired of Donald Trump. So look, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure there's a reason. Trump came off a pretty devastating result in the midterms. So yeah, of course he's not feeling good. Why announce now? Well, as I mentioned in another story a few days ago, it would be embarrassing if he didn't. This is according to a close advisor to him. Now, the other thing, of course, is that you could tell that it's scripted remarks. Donald Trump is most Donald Trump when he's off, speaking off the cuff. When he's reading a teleprompter, he's boring. Very low energy, very sad, and you can usually tell. That said, the response to the speech wasn't quite that bad. Now, here is a couple of positive statements. Michael Bender, a reporter for the New York Times, interesting enough, posted on Twitter that Trump had his crowd's attention for the entirety of the 63-minute speech, which, by the way, was not supposed to be 60 minutes long, but again, it's Donald Trump. You can't really stop him. He noted in his tweet that there were some murmurs of side conversations taking place in the back of the room, but said overall most people were cheering and chanting. Few, if anyone, left early, Bender said. Well, again, if security is preventing you from leaving, then yeah, you're not really going to have that many people leave the building if they're not allowed. But then again, you also had the response from Fox News hosts Sean Hannity, as well as Pete Hegseth and contributor Mike Huckabee, who actually believed that Donald Trump's speech was, well, brilliant. Get a load of this.
It's a forward-looking speech that recognizes the disaster of the last 2 years. He said, as president, I delivered for you where other presidents have not. This looks like Trump in as good a form as you've ever seen him, sticking to the issues that matter to his voters, making the case to Republican primary voters that he's the guy to continue to be the standard bearer as the original that remade the party.
Sean, the construct of the speech is pitch perfect. If he keeps on like this tonight, he is unbeatable in 2024. Nobody can touch him. Not a Republican, not a Democrat. He's looking forward. I'm telling you, this was an absolutely brilliant speech, the best I've heard him give in a long time. And he stays on this message. I agree with Pete. He stays and keeps it between the ditches. And this focus, he's unbeatable.
Talking about kissing ass, we have Lindsey Graham. He tweeted that Trump would be hard to beat if he continues his tone. Quote, his speech tonight contrasting his policies and results against the Biden administration charts a winning path for him in the primaries and general election. So look, this is a situation where I have to admit, I'm not sure who to believe anymore, okay? I got to check my bubble. Because, of course, we all live in bubbles, obviously. And so media definitely does inform your, perspective. So, look, I thought the speech itself was, yes, boring. Donald Trump was not, definitely up to form. Because he wasn't entertaining, he wasn't funny. And I got to note, too, that the people inside do not look like the average member of Donald Trump's core constituency. It looks like a room full of stuffy donors. And also, I got to note that a lot of the people calling it low energy are people who generally do not like Donald Trump. However, that said, you do have MAGA influencers. So let me give that other perspective here. Nick Fuentes, who's a white nationalist, very pro-Trump, took to Telegram to call the speech a quote-unquote epic fail, while taking issue with there being zero mention of voter fraud or big tech censorship. Another January 6th organizer, Ali Alexander, said Trump appeared tired Milo Yiannopoulos said, I wanted a gold elevator. Yay, 2024, meaning Kanye. Not surprising that he would like, Kanye. Human Events publisher Will Chamberlain added this. He sounds old. A conservative blogger for the right-wing website Red State wrote this. Low energy, played out talking points. We've heard the speech a dozen times. So look, I'm curious to know how the average MAGA guy responded to it. And look, hey, you're in the audience. I know you are. How did you like the speech? Yeah, do you think Trump is on form? Do you agree with Mike Huckabee? Do you agree with Fox News? And I'm actually asking, because I'm trying to see outside my bubble here. Was it inspiring? Are you inspired to vote for Trump? Did you think it was the most epic speech ever? Like, please, I need to know. I need to know, what is MAGA thinking? What are you thinking? Because I find it very interesting. And look, the other thing that, the other reason I actually want to know this as well is because, look, there's a civil war in the Republican Party. It's the establishment media, it's Republican leadership, it's the Murdoch press versus Donald Trump and some big portion of the base. That's why right now the voices of the base seem to be very underrepresented, unless of course you count people like Milo Yiannopoulos and, Nick Fuentes. So I'm very, very curious about this. And by the way, another thing, Cenk Uygur brings up an interesting take, right? And look, he's getting a lot of pushback for this, but I think he brings up an interesting question. He said, I don't agree with the rest of the press. I thought Trump's speech was pretty good. Not the fact that he likes it, but just tonally. He said the speech was vicious and full of lies, but it wasn't intended for us as, lefties, as progressives, as Democrats, etc. I think it worked for its intended audience, Republican primary voters. It hit all of his successful 2016 campaign themes. So now that, again, is an interesting perspective. And I'm wondering, is he right? Because I'm not MAGA. I can't see into the MAGA brain. So I really don't know. What did they think about it? Because ultimately, this contest is not going to come down to, the Rupert Murdoch. It's not going to come down to Fox News personalities. It's not going to come down to Ali Alexander. It's going to come down to the voters. It's going to come down to Republican primary voters. We're not talking about the general election here. We're talking about Republicans in a Republican primary. Are they still with Trump? That's where we all need to know.